Have you ever felt a spark deep within? An electric current of desire that pulses through your very being? What if I told you this spark is more than mere chemistry? That it is the most potent force in the cosmos, capable of bending reality itself to your will? Tonight we unveil a secret whispered by alchemists, kept hidden in the temples of antiquity, and encoded in the rites of the greatest mystics. Sexual alchemy, the ancient art of transmuting raw life force into magnetic power that draws every desire to you. Imagine standing at the edge of creation, watching two cosmic energies intertwine in a dance older than time. This is the primal union, the union of yin and yang, of starfire and moonlight, of masculine spark and feminine flow. It is here, in this intimate crucible, that the raw energy of attraction is born. Yet, over the centuries, priests and sages have cloaked this knowledge in allegory and ritual, fearing that its misuse could shatter the illusions of power and control. In this journey, we will pierce the veil. We'll trace the trail of the Kama Sutra and the secret tantric lineages of India, delve into the fertility rites of ancient Egypt, and unlock the cryptic passages of the Emerald Tablet that hint at a union of opposites as the path to transcendence. You will discover how medieval alchemists spoke of the philosopher's stone, not as a metal, but as the concentrated essence of human vitality, harnessed at the threshold of passion. However, this isn't simply a matter of history or myth. We'll reveal how, today, you can awaken this dormant power through simple yet profound practices. Breathwork that ignites your inner flame, conscious touch that fuses mind and body, and visualization that magnetizes your deepest yearnings. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to wield sexual energy not as a fleeting thrill, but as a living current that shapes your reality, your relationships, and your destiny. Prepare yourself for a voyage into hidden chambers of the soul, where pleasure becomes power and desire becomes creation. Your journey into sexual alchemy, the most powerful energy to attract everything you desire, begins now. Centuries ago, in the lush riverbanks of the Nile, the priestesses of Isis whispered of a sacred union called Mat Kem, where masculine and feminine currents merged to sustain the cosmos. They inscribed erotic hieroglyphs in hidden chambers, believing that the divine spark was rekindled each time lovers united in consecrated ritual. These depictions weren't mere celebrations of fertility. They were maps to transform mortal passion into an immortal elixir. Travel eastward to the foothills of the Himalayas, and you'll find the tantric adepts who called this energy Kundalini Shakti, the sleeping serpent at the base of the spine. Ancient manuscripts, such as the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, describe methods for awakening this coiled fire through breath, mantra, and visualization. To them, sexual energy was not sinful but sacred, a portal through which the devotee could glimpse the luminous void at the heart of being. In ancient Greece, the mystics of Eleusis performed rites to Demeter and Persephone in subterranean caves, their erotic symbolism concealing profound truths about death, rebirth, and the cyclical nature of life force. The Eleusinian mysteries promised initiation into the greater mysteries, hinting that the union of bodies mirrored humanity's union with divine essence. Plato himself alluded to this in the Symposium, when he spoke of love as that which compels our soul toward the beautiful and the good, an early nod to the notion that desire could uplift us to higher realms. Fast forward to the medieval alchemists of Europe, who coded their experiments in cryptic treatises. When they sought the fabled philosopher's stone, they weren't merely chasing gold. They pursued the refinement of viriditas, the living green essence of nature, distilled from human vitality. Nicholas Flamel's secret texts describe the sex of the sun and moon, an allegory for sacred coitus, in which the adept learned to channel sexual fluids into a universal solvent, capable of dissolving the illusions of the ego. Yet over centuries, churches, emperors, and patriarchs exiled these teachings to shadowed catacombs and midnight gatherings. The flame of sexual alchemy was branded taboo, cloaked in shame, and relegated to the realm of heresy. For if the masses awakened to the power coursing through their loins, the old hierarchies would crumble. Thus, these rituals survived only as scattered fragments. A Sanskrit sutra tucked between cautionary appendices, a coded emblem etched on a tomb, an esoteric footnote in a dusty library. Philosophically, at the heart of sexual alchemy lies the principle of coniunctio oppositorum, the union of opposites. Jung later borrowed this term to describe the integration of the conscious and unconscious mind. But long before modern psychology, the ancients understood that masculine and feminine impulses, light and shadow, must be reconciled. In this crucible, the psyche is transmuted, base instincts refined into authentic power, and fragmented selves woven into wholeness. This hidden lineage, spanning continents and epochs, converges on a singular truth. Sexual energy is the prime mover of existence. It is the original currency by which the soul negotiates with reality. For those with eyes to see, every heartbeat, every pulse of desire is an invitation to step beyond limitation, to alchemize flesh into spirit and spirit into the fabric of creation itself. At the center of your being lies a furnace, an ancient engine of desire, creativity, and life itself. This is not a metaphor. Modern science calls it libido. Psychology names it the drive, but the mystics have always known it as the sacred fire. It's the same force that compels flowers to bloom, stars to be born, and human beings to create life. But what if this same force could be redirected, not outward, but upward, transformed into a magnet for abundance, manifestation, and spiritual awakening? This is the foundation of sexual alchemy, the inner art of taking your most primal energy and transmuting it into your highest expression. But to do this, you must first understand a powerful truth. Desire is not your enemy. It is your compass. In most spiritual traditions, desire has been demonized, associated with distraction, attachment, or moral weakness. But in the esoteric schools, desire was seen as the fire that reveals what you are truly here to become. As Rumi said, what you seek is seeking you. That seeking, that pull, is the raw energy of Eros, the universal force of attraction. When we feel sexual desire, we often externalize it. We seek release, gratification, or intimacy. But in doing so, especially when this energy is spent unconsciously, it is scattered, like tossing gold coins into the wind. The alchemist, however, learns to contain and circulate this energy through the body, using ancient techniques to build power rather than lose it. In Taoist inner alchemy, this is known as Jing Qi Shen. Jing, the essence, your raw sexual energy. Qi, the breath or life force that carries Jing through your channels. Shen, the spirit or consciousness that governs it. By refining Jing through breathwork, visualization, and focused awareness, it transforms into Qi. As this energy rises through the spine, through centers known as chakras or dantians, it becomes Shen, elevating your vibration, sharpening intuition, and attracting circumstances aligned with your soul's path. This is not abstract. Those who practice sexual transmutation often report bursts of creative inspiration, heightened charisma, rapid manifestations, and synchronicities aligning effortlessly. Why? Because they are no longer bleeding out their power. Instead, they become magnetic, radiating the very frequency of their deepest desire. Imagine a powerful waterfall redirected into a turbine. Instead of spilling over the rocks, its energy is harnessed to generate light. This is what happens when sexual energy is redirected inward. You become luminous. But here's the key. This process is not about suppression. It's about refinement. Repression leads to inner turmoil. Alchemy leads to transcendence. When you resist desire, it fights back. But when you dance with it, learn its language, and guide it through sacred intention, it becomes your greatest ally. This is the mystery behind celibate sages with glowing eyes, radiant artists who create masterpieces without fatigue, and magnetically attractive individuals who seem to manifest with ease. They are not superhuman. They are simply attuned to an ancient truth. Your sexual energy is your soul's creative currency, and every time you channel it consciously, you're issuing a command to the universe. I am ready. I am sovereign. I am the creator. To truly master sexual alchemy, you must confront a paradox that lies at the heart of all esoteric wisdom. The more you crave control over desire, the more it controls you. But the moment you witness desire without reacting, you unlock its alchemical code. This is the silent teaching hidden in nearly every sacred tradition. In tantric texts, Shiva, the stillness of pure consciousness, dances with Shakti, the pulsating rhythm of life force and sexuality, not in opposition, but in divine union. In Hermetic philosophy, the principle of polarity teaches that opposites are not enemies, but reflections. Masculine and feminine, desire and detachment, spirit and flesh. They are not to be separated, but merged. What the alchemist seeks is not abstinence nor indulgence. What they seek is integration. And that begins by understanding this simple but often misunderstood truth. Sexual energy is not about sex. It is about life force. This energy expresses itself as sexual desire because that is its most concentrated form. But beneath that surface is a raw, cosmic power. The same power that mystics say pulses in the heart of every atom. When you feel arousal, you are standing at the gateway of this energy. But society has trained you to channel it outward, into fantasy, addiction, and consumption. You were never taught to ride that wave inward, to breathe it up the spine, to fuel the brain, to illuminate the third eye, and to anchor it in the heart. This is why ancient initiates practiced disciplines like brahmacharya, sexual kung fu, or Kundalini yoga, not as self-denial, but as technologies of transmutation. Now let's break a dangerous myth. Celibacy alone does not equal power. If done without awareness, it can create repression, neurosis, and energetic blockages. True alchemy is not about stopping the current. It's about guiding it. This is where breath becomes the alchemist's tool. With each conscious breath, you create an inner circuit, moving the energy from the lower chakras to the higher centers. Visualize it like steam rising through chambers, each one infusing the essence with a new frequency, from lust to longing, from longing to devotion, from devotion to illumination. Another advanced technique is the microcosmic orbit, taught in Taoist internal alchemy. By circulating sexual energy through the spine and down the front of the body in a loop, you train your system to store power instead of releasing it. And here's where it gets mystical. Those who consistently practice this begin to experience a shift in their aura. Their voice deepens. Their gaze sharpens. People are drawn to them without knowing why. It's not manipulation. It's resonance. They vibrate with a current that speaks the language of nature, of creation, of attraction itself. Because in the end, sexual alchemy isn't just about desire. It's about alignment. The more harmonized your energy is between body, heart, and mind, the more the universe responds to you as if you are the source itself. This is why magicians, yogis, and initiates throughout time have spoken in whispers about this sacred power. It's not because it's shameful. It's because it's potent, too potent for the unconscious, too divine for the profane. The ancient Egyptians called it Sekum, a power of the gods. The Gnostics encoded it in symbols. The Tantrics preserved it in rituals of union. And now, in this age of awakening, it is being remembered once more, not as taboo, but as treasure. Because when you transmute sexual energy, you're not just creating more focus, clarity, or magnetism. You're tuning into the original blueprint of creation itself. And that changes everything. Now that we've journeyed through the mystical roots and deeper meaning of sexual alchemy, let's step into its most powerful domain, practice. Because knowledge without embodiment is like fire without flame, potential without power. 1. The breath of transmutation, 5 to 10 minutes daily. Begin each morning or evening in stillness. Sit with a straight spine. Place one hand on your lower abdomen and the other on your heart. Now begin conscious breathing. A slow, circular breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you inhale, visualize sexual energy rising from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. As you exhale, imagine it descending back down the front of your body like a golden waterfall. You are now activating the microcosmic orbit. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes daily. Over time, you will feel a subtle tingling, a warm current moving up your spine. This is not imagination. This is life force being guided. When practiced regularly, this simple ritual sharpens your mind, deepens your presence, and starts to magnetize your aura. 2. The sacred pause before release. One of the most misunderstood principles in sexual alchemy is choiceful retention. This is not about suppression, it's about presence. If you're sexually active or self-pleasuring, try this. Right at the edge of climax, pause. Breathe. Contract your perineum gently, the muscle used to stop urination. Guide the energy upward through your spine. Instead of releasing, you recycle. Each time you do this, you build inner fire. The ancient Taoists believed that 1 drop of semen equals 100 drops of blood, a metaphor for the immense energy stored within. Retaining and transmuting this energy, even just once a week, can lead to exponential vitality, focus, and confidence. You're no longer being drained, you're being charged. 3. Alchemy of intention. Ritual magnetism. Now we add the final key, intention. After practicing breathwork or a sacred pause, enter a state of stillness. Hold a desire in your heart, not as desperate wanting, but as vibrational presence. See it, feel it, smell it, become it. Then whisper a phrase like, "As I harness my sacred fire, I call to me all that aligns with my divine path." This is not affirmation, it is invocation. When spoken from a charged, aligned state, words become spells, and you become the spellcaster. You are no longer trying to attract. You are radiating the frequency of fulfillment. 4. Protect your energy. Spiritual hygiene. As your energy amplifies, you'll become more sensitive to people, environments, and thoughts. To protect your field, avoid excessive digital stimulation or pornography. These are leaks. Eat living foods, fresh fruits, clean water, and herbs like shilajit or ashwagandha. Surround yourself with beauty, quietude, and intention. And most importantly, say no to anything that doesn't honor your sacred fire. Because every choice is either feeding your energy or bleeding it. 5. Signs your alchemy is working. You'll know your alchemy is activating when you wake up with greater clarity, energy, and purpose. People are inexplicably drawn to you. Synchronicities accelerate. You attract deeper relationships, better opportunities, and richer experiences with less effort. This is not superstition. This is resonance. You have become a living temple of creation, and all of reality responds. So take this not as a theory, but as a daily devotion. The real transformation happens in the discipline, in the breath, in the moment when you choose power over habit. This is how the initiate becomes the magnet. This is how desire becomes destiny. What if the very thing you've been seeking, success, love, clarity, abundance, was never outside of you? What if the magnetic force that draws all things into form was always lying dormant within? This is the final revelation of sexual alchemy, that your most primal energy is also your most divine. That which society told you to repress, or waste, or feel ashamed of, is in truth the gateway to mastery. We began this journey in mystery, with whispers from ancient lands, Egypt, India, Atlantis, where sages and mystics understood that Eros is Logos, that the erotic and the spiritual are not separate, but sacred reflections of the same source. We explored how sexual energy, when transmuted, becomes the golden elixir, the philosopher's stone, that elevates not only the body, but the soul. And we've learned that through breath, intention, and presence, this energy can become a living force of attraction, drawing to you the reality you are destined to create. But remember this, energy flows where attention goes, and sexual energy flows where devotion goes. So devote yourself to your highest vision. Devote yourself to the path that honors your essence. Devote yourself to becoming the magnet, not the seeker. Because you are not here to chase. You are here to emanate. You are not here to struggle. You are here to align. And in that alignment, miracles occur, not as luck, but as law. Before you go, pause for a moment. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your lower belly. Feel the warmth. Now raise that energy through your spine to your heart and whisper within, I am the fire. I am the flame. I am not with need, but with knowing. I create not with force, but with frequency, and so it is. If this message stirred something ancient within you, share it. If you feel the call to dive deeper into the mysteries of inner power and esoteric wisdom, subscribe and walk this path with us. Your journey has only just begun. The flame has been lit. Now, the alchemy is in your hands.